created to have some fun together, sharing and singing. So, join and enjoy.
Our love for opera brings us together. Thanks for being with us in this trip.
So let me see. Is this already working? Yes, this is already working. So Rafa, this is our. No, I think it just started. This is our first program for this year 2026. So happy New Year to start with. A little by the end of the month, but still happy New Year. Hope this 2026 brings lots of success to you, to your family.
That's right. Yes.
And to all the listeners that I was sharing with you that we are growing very, very rapidly in the number of cities. A couple of countries also added in the past month. So we are super happy, super, in a way, surprised and also thankful for the deep, uh, uh, in a way, relationship and commitment that we both parties have. The audience that keeps following and listening to the podcast basically everywhere in the world, and that we us that continue to work and have fun with these materials that we like to share. So, Rafa, let's get started. Today
Let's get started.
We have a song coming from Cuba. So, and this is one of the most relevant Cuban composers, if not the most. If you notice, we have for the selected countries, we have brought very important composers of this country, of the given country, and that is the case for Cuba. So we have Ernesto Lecuona, author of a song known as Siboney. And before we get into the recordings, before we get there, I would like to say that my first filter for this song is going to be how they open. And let me explain you why. It opens saying, Siboney, yo te quiero, yo me muero por tu amor. Siboney is the name of the woman he loves, he likes. And so he says, Siboney, you the woman that I love, I really die for having your love. So look at the depth of the opening expression. And if the following singers open as if it was opera, then I'm not going to be in the mood for the rest of the song. Because how do you address to the woman you love? There is even a certain tone in your voice when you speak to someone you love, right? Assume the name of the woman you love is Amanda. You don't yell her, Amanda, it's completely out of place. It has to be, when we humans have a bond with somebody, we always change the tone of our voice when we speak to him or to her. So if your love is Amanda, you would say, Amanda, yo te quiero, or something like that, depending on the interpretation of the singer. But it has to be, this warmth, this tenderness in the voice. So if the singer opens very operatic, as I said, I'm going to be in the bad mood for the remaining of the song. Another thing that I wanted to mention, and that I hope it's going to be reflected in the interpretations, is that the style of Ernesto Lecuona, given the region being Cuba, where it is the music is this, how can I say, has this flavor of the Caribbean, the way people in islands, in this kind of destinations speak, it's very particular. And so it is reflected in the way you sing. If you say, Siboney, yo te quiero, yo me muero por tu amor, it sounds like we would speak in the city. Yo te quiero, yo me muero por tu amor. Like, like yo te quiero, yo me muero por tu amor. Even if you have the Chilango accent, that many
Chilango.
Well, for since everybody's in other countries, let me tell you that Chilango is a word used inside Mexico when you refer to the people of Mexico City, to how they speak. No, so except for that accent, that of course there are many accents in Mexico, it could be very linear. Yo te quiero, yo me muero por tu amor. The rhythm, the rhythmics of Spanish in Cuba is very different. And if I appreciate that in any of the following singers, then it's going to be a heads up. Thumbs up. Thumbs up if he understands that he cannot sing as if it was just any Spanish, but it has have this freshness, this rhythm of the Caribbean, and also if they understand that Siboney is not an opera after Turandot or Aida. It has to be Siboney. I love you so much. With that being said, why don't we start with our first example, but it's going to be tenor Gabriel Gutiel. For what I was reading, this recording takes place in Costa Rica. Very, very interesting, of course, to say that we are having someone from Costa Rica. And I think, well, I don't know if you personally, Raffa, have met people from Costa Rica. They also have a very nice accent when speaking. So probably we are going to also notice that. So with no more words, let's get to it. Okay. Raffa, what do you have to share?
Okay, first, I need to say that Siboney, for me, more than a song, is first of all a poem. This guy, I think, when this guy Ernesto Leucona, when he was writing this song, let's say, I think first of all began as a poem, and then after came the music. I'm almost pretty sure about that. The composers has their own strategy or their own way to have or to write a song. Maybe first the music, or maybe first the lyrics, or maybe together they are mixing. Me, even as a composer, I can do both. Could be. It depends, but I'm pretty sure that in this case, Siboney was first of all a poem. That's my first approach. And what I like about this song as well, is played on a major tone. Since the beginning, it's a major tone because it's let's say a happy chord, brightness chords. But in the middle of the song, then it has a minor chord, which gives some touch of a very nice touch when the singer is singing, let's say, in this way, and it's a very good arrangement about the song. It's just one chord, let's say, in a way, okay, but at the end, by the time of this kind of songs, is a kind of good arrangement, because this song was created on 1929, so it's a very, very old song.
Almost 100 years already.
That's right, almost 100 years. That's right. Okay, and regarding the singer Gabriel, my point of view, he has a good voice as a tenor. Yes, um, it's a good quality in high notes, but I can see a kind of not so warm in a high note. Is kind of for me, this kind of songs demands tender, and this guy, most than tender, was trying to get to the note instead as a first, let's say, goal, instead to bright, or instead to give the most importance to the song in what he's singing. That's my point of view. It was kind of guttural, and also in some pieces in there, he sang with the notes. There, I can see of this guy that in some little pieces of the song, he is not in his range. Is kind of seems, and you can hear that is not comfortable for him. He's doing well, yes, he's doing well, but for my point of view, for this kind of song is not enough. You need to have a different type of voice, maybe. You are talking about a poem, as I said, and as you said in the very beginning, you're trying to get in love to the lady and have her attention, or you are declaring your love to this girl and so on. So it's a love song at the end. At the end, it's a love song, and as a singer, I think that it has to be not so loud in a way, for my point of view. And at least there were some, at the end, there were some errors on his breath. You can see that he was burying the breath in the last notes. That's my point of view.
Okay, so it is good to see that that this year you're going to be the villain and I am going to be the good guy. Feel so much comforted about it. On my side, I would like to say that remember that I was going to say thumbs up if he understands and doesn't yell in the beginning, so he gets his first thumbs up. Second, if he works on the rhythmics of the words, and I noticed that he worked on that. So those two things get my thumbs up, because otherwise, and we are going to see in the coming recordings, otherwise it sounds too plain. And this song, this poem, as you described, is very rich, because the rhythmics play a lot in how you perceive what is being sung, and because of those rhythmics, is that you get in the ending that he's struggling with the rhythm, the number of words that he has to sing, and the breath. You have to, in the programs. So we speak about it very often in the programs with Katia in the season 8 of Spectacular Singing, that you really have to do a very careful planning on where you are going to breathe. Because if you don't plan carefully, happens something like this, that it's flowing and suddenly it looks like it stops. But he knows that if he doesn't breathe there, then it's going to be even more a disaster. Actually, he's running out of breath. So we don't know if it was not carefully planned or he had planned correctly, but when executing, something got out of control, and so that's how it ended up with that problem at the end in the breathing. Yeah, I also think he has not fully resolved his voice. There are certain areas that still need to be perfected, and I also understand, because that's what most tenors and opera singers do. is that when they have to choose between interpretation and the sound of a high note, they usually go for the sound of the high note. But happens something like you were saying, since all the song is in a nice mood, Siboney, viernes me moriré de amor, tan, tan, tan. And you go, Siboney. It's like, hey, wait a second. I mean, that's not the mood. Are you yelling? Are you upset at Siboney? When did it came from love to something that is not love anymore? And that's
It's what you said exactly in the very beginning. Imagine that you are yelling to your lady that you love her. You know, it's ridiculous.
It's ridiculous, and we are going to see ahead other examples. We will have plenty of time, so I don't want to spend too much time on that because the other videos are going to have their opportunities as well. I don't know. We're going to provide the gradings at the end, but understanding the inequality, that his voice is not fully developed in all the areas, and the couple of excesses. The other part of the interpretation, I think he worked on it, and I like that. So with that being said, let's move to example or the second recording that we are going to see. This is going to be a how do we call it when more than one singer is singing? It is because it's some sort of a group musical.
Il Divo Region 4.
Yeah, sort of Il Divo. Or, I'm not sure if we have here where there is no description of where they actually sang, but we are going to assume that it maybe was Latin America. Let's see. So this group of singers is now singing Siboney.
No se pierda por entre el rudo.
So, Raffa, a tenor, a baritone, and a countertenor. What do you think?
My goodness. Okay.
You're the villain, so remember, you can be as villain as you want.
No. It's not because I have or I would like to be the villain, but I need to say that. Okay, there's a lot of things to analyze in here. First of all, I really want to know. I really want to understand why these three types of voices has to be together in this type of song. I don't understand that. This is a song. Once again, this is a love song. This is not a song that has to be spectacular. Okay, we're not talking about from a song that you can in a voice. I mean, as an instrument in a voice. I cannot see why this song needs to have in the stage or to be in the stage three type of tesituras, voices. I don't understand that. Maybe it's because they are terrible in what they are trying to perform in there. But I have never understood this scene. Let's say this number, this performance. But anyhow, the bass.
Rafa, why don't we make a pause before we go into each of the voices? Because what you address is something that I also usually dislike or detest. I know that people, and it could be also the case for songs that the three tenors sang, that you say, oh my God, why are you doing that? I was recalling as you were speaking that I attended a performance once, maybe 20 years ago. I was young back then, of course. And I recall that it was a soprano, a countertenor, and two tenors, and they four sang Nessun Dorma.
Mm.
And knowing, as we know, Nessun Dorma, so try to picture in your mind a countertenor trying to get power, not the notes, but trying to get the power to. It's something that a countertenor, of course, cannot do. And the soprano was also having a very hard time, and she was only with the top of the voice trying to do the because the rest of the power of the body was not there, and only the two tenors were comfortable. And they did the same for Granada. And I also asked myself, I am just putting this example just because it looks like a lot like what you're saying, but with Il Divo and other groups of singers happens the same. What is the need to expose
Exactly.
three voices that for some cases could match together, but that in here it was not a good choice. It was not a good selection of a voice. There are many, I can think of several other cases where they could have had their own dynamics and their own a positive match of the voices. There is no need to expose yourself in something that doesn't work. But for some reason, people keep liking this sort of assemblies because people still think, oh, you see, it sounded good. Oh, you see, now Il Divo recorded another song where they are singing something horrible with a song which was originally nice. But that's what I wanted to add, that unfortunately it is not the first time, and usually go for the best choices, harmonically speaking, because you can hear it that harmonically speaking, it's not working. So,
No. It's horrible. Yes, that's right.
Yeah, go ahead.
There were no any musical director in there. No any harmonic director in there. They just put three guys and put, hey, you sing this, and you sing that, and period. But anyhow, I can see as well the guy which was singing as a bass is not steady. He started the song, which maybe I wouldn't do that. I don't know. It came in my mind, and I wouldn't do that. But it doesn't matter what I say. I'm just saying that, for my point of view, is you cannot start this song without. It doesn't attract me. And it's a first step. It's a first side. And at the end, as I said, he was never steady in a way, or in the period of the performance. The turnout wasn't also steady. He looks nervous. Or the baritone you said, sorry, the baritone wasn't steady. Nervous, weak, and this particular guy, he was strolling with the piano. The time was not in the piano. But I need to say that the pianist also was a terrible guy. He was horrible, the pianist, my point of view. I think that this guy from this piano maybe was looking for a bar or something like this. Hey, you can read this one? Ah, yes, okay, follow up, and tum tan tan tum tan tan. There was, I don't know if there were any rehearsal or something, or they were prepared about this, but it seems to be something like, hey guys, we need to get into the stage in half an hour. Please get this done, okay? The countertenor could be, in a way, the best of them. Could be, in a way. There were some, no doubt, there were so low for him, but maybe we could say that he's safe. He's safe. the performance, the number. And you can, as I said, as a harmonic director or musical director, you could put in a way some kind of harmonic of duos or some kind of harmonic and trios or something like this. But they tried to do that, but it was never consistent. It's like a jelly. It was never cooked or something like this. I don't know how to say that in English, but I know that you can understand. For my point of view, these guys, they were very brave. That's what I would say. They were very brave, but the performance is from beginners. Yeah.
Yeah. I also agree. I also didn't like the pianist. It was looking like I play this stuff. Yeah, ta 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 ta. It's like just hitting the keys instead of playing. That I feel it's disrespectful to play to be the accompanist of a song and just yeah, I will do the job. How much are you paying? Okay, I will do it. Without caring about the pauses, without caring about the style, about the volume. He just went ahead and played and played and played and played. I really agree on that. I also agree. It sounds horrible, but the worst of the three was the tenor by far. The voice has severe pitch and breathing problems. Severe, really, really severe. Also with the tone, as you said. So nothing to say with to save his interpretation. As for the baritone, he has a nice voice. I noticed he has a nice voice, but he should have sung in another tone and do several other things, which he might not be ready yet. But if he takes care of the instrument in the future, this is a very, very, very nice voice. Because baritones usually don't have nice voices. They are usually not nice voices. This guy has
Jorge
nice
Negrete. Jorge
Negrete, it's, well, you're speaking, raising the bar very, very, very high. And what I wanted to call the attention of people, if you want to later look for it for the video on YouTube, is that on the countertenor, you can see on his face the technique for singing. That is called voce in maschera. That's what it's called in Italian, voce in maschera. The way you can see how it's projecting the chin, the opening, the mouth, everything that's typical operatic sound projection that is called voce in maschera. I also think he was he was the best among the three. Also, I wouldn't give him this song to retry it later. This is not a song for a countertenor, or yes, but there are many changes that need to be made. Work more in with the tone of the song, and there are several things that need to be worked, but individually. Along with two other guys, a baritone and a tenor, definitely it's not going to work, not unless you rehearse enough and you understand the limitations of each of the voices. But just throwing three guys together on the stage and see how it works, it's never a good idea. Okay, so enough with the seconds. Now it's time for us to move. And so, as I was saying, we are going to move now because now we have, again, more than one singer on the stage. We have a soprano and a tenor. The tenor, well, I am used to speaking Italian, so for me it is Carlos de Macua. But in the country that he's from, he's probably Maca. So my apologies for not being sure on the pronunciation of the name of the tenor. So it is Carlos. And the soprano is Lourdes Martinez. So let's go ahead and see how it goes. I was just telling Raffa that I know he's enjoying being a villain today. And I am giving him plenty of opportunities. So let's see. Okay, Rafa, let's go for this pair. What do you think?
All right. First of all, comparing with last two videos, mostly in the case of these guys that were trying to get a good performance in three voices. In here, there we can see that it's a much better duo. It's much better prepared. Uh, um, they look comfortable. The tenor has I think it's a good voice, even that this guy is not so young. I can see some little struggling on the high notes about him. Not so comfortable in high notes, but in general, I can see that he was in a good shape, let's say, in a way. About the feeling about him, let's say he accomplished, not so bad, not so good, but it's okay. Regarding Maca, the soprano, she has a great voice, very powerful, very good high notes, very good high notes. She looks much flowing, much. How can I say it? Yes, she's fluent when she's singing. I don't like too much, to be honest. It's not my style, but when they are trying to touch their hands and try to dance or something like this kind of, let's say, um, scene of movie. I don't know how to say that, but it's kind of weird for me, no. But at the end, it's part of the show, let's say, in a way. And at the end, they did it. They did it right. The pianist was in tempo. She was in a good in a good shape. Um, she understood how they are singing, how was they are singing at that time, and at the end is it's a good number. It's a good performance in general. I just can say that.
Yeah, I have to agree. I like the pianist a lot. I think she must
Mm-hmm.
be a very experienced
Mm-hmm.
accompanist because we the singers are usually the horrible persons to deal with, so they have to adjust more when it is only one singer. So the pianist says, "Okay, so this guy or this girl tends to do this and this and this," and they adjust. But when there are two singers on a stage, they have to adjust more than once because of the different styles and capabilities of each of the singers. So that's why I can
Mm-hmm.
see this is an experienced accompanist. And then I also think she likes the song because I see the pianist enjoying the music and enjoying what she's doing, being careful with the notes on the piano. So I really like the pianist.
Mm-hmm.
Now, for me, the tenor, in terms of interpretation and use of the voice, is exactly the way it shouldn't be done.
Mm-hmm.
He's yelling too much. He's using too much volume. But I want to say something, and this is regarding the age. Many people
Mm-hmm.
don't know, but when you start to lose control of your voice, the first thing that you lose is the control of the volume. So the low volume, the piano, the pianissimi is very difficult for
Mm-hmm.
singers who are starting to lose their voice. So what they do, they overcompensate with volume.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And this guy is yelling all the time, "Siboney,
Mm-hmm.
señor de Siboney." It hurts. For me, it hurts to hear the song that needs to flow. Ta-da-dun, instead of ta-da-dun, ta-da-dun. It's no, I really don't like it. Uh, he's still in good shape for his age, but that he's
Mhm.
not willing or not capable of controlling the piano and the pianissimo is not good, because if you want to yell, choose another song. Maybe something
Exactly.
more Italian that
Mhm,
requires
mhm,
constantly higher volume, but don't go for something as delicate as Siboney,
mhm, mhm,
because you're going to lose the opportunity of doing something artistically speaking nice. So
mhm,
those are my thoughts on the tenor. On the soprano, I loved her. I really,
mhm, mhm,
really loved her. I I think the success of this song is because of hers.
mhm, mhm. Totally agree.
She is comfortable with the song. She's managing the
Mhm,
volumes. Even if she knows that the guy is going to cover her, she adheres to singing pianissimi because the other guy is yelling, but she takes her voice and goes down as required. That's
mhm,
excellent from her. And you see that she's not only singing with the voice, but the interpretation is also in her hands, in the face, in how she's moving the body. When
mhm,
she refers
mhm,
to Siboney, she's playing with the hands and showing that she cares about Siboney.
mhm, mhm,
Opposite to the tenor that is stiff.
mhm,
Siboney te llevo con ala en mi cane. And the other is Siboney.
mhm, mhm.
You see, it's like seeing two
It's the
opposite.
flow. Yes.
It's two
Mhm,
opposite worlds on the same stage.
mhm, mhm, mhm,
Also, I feel either they did not agree on that, or either this guy is very unprofessional. Because when you
mhm.
sing a duet with the other mezzo, tenor, baritone, whoever, you always have to agree on how long you're going to sustain a note. Because it's impossible that two singers have equally the same breath. So one is going to say, hey, I'm running out of breath, let's cut it there. And it's more professional when the two go, "Ah," and they wrap up. One, bum, you see? Bum, they finish. But the soprano signaled him, we have to end here. She diminishes the volume to rap, and the guy continues. And that is unprofessional. If you want to prove that you have a much powerful voice, more air or whatever, do it at home, do it in front of your camera, in your YouTube, your own YouTube channel or your
Mhm,
Facebook page,
mhm.
anywhere
Yeah.
else, but never, absolutely never on
Yes,
stage.
I agree.
It's disrespectful with the other
Mhm.
singer.
Yes.
You
Yeah.
look childish doing that.
Mhm, mhm,
And because
mhm.
of that, I'm very upset with this video. The thing that I loved about her involving him, because she sees this guy and says, oh my God, this guy is so stiff. I need to involve him somehow so that he does something besides just standing there. So she involves them. And on the other side, the other guy just finds a way to try to look better or more powerful than the soprano.
Mm.
That, that's horrible. And that happens very often.
I agree. Yeah, I
That,
agree.
but that usually happens when you're a young singer, when you want to be recognized. But my God,
Mhm,
man,
mhm.
you are not in your 20s. You clearly don't need to do something a singer in her
But the
would do.
topic in here is what you said. You can have you can have 20, 25, or 30 or whatever, but if you are dealing with this art, which is music and singing, and you're taking this as a professional, no matter how aged you are, you need to be professional, and this is important. You
You
need to
have to be
be
respectful
professional. You
always.
have to respect exactly whatever the age is, whatever. So
Yeah. So
you are totally right. Yes.
yeah. So that's of the three we have seen. This is the one that I have enjoyed the most because of the soprano. I want to insist
Mm-hmm,
because of
mm-hmm,
hers and the pianist. and the pianist. I also like, so far it is the pianist that I have liked more. But now it's time to go for our fourth one with Indira Ferrer Morato, soprano. She's at the Museo de Art in Europe, Spain, I believe. Let's see if it is stated somewhere in Barcelona, in fact, which is an amazingly beautiful place, which you can see. We have sort of this type of constructions in Mexico, because you know that Mexico was for centuries in the domain of the Spanish. So we are familiar with this type of constructions. Also depends on the area of Mexico. And this looks like a place that I would like to go to. But let's see, besides the beautiful place, the beautiful venue where she recorded it, let's see how she did in terms of the song. Raffa, your thoughts?
Okay. Indira Morato. Okay. I think she's, for my point of view, this last video is the best performance that we passed through for analysis in this Siboney song. My point of view, she has a great voice. Is not the, I mean, it's not like the last soprano that we saw. You know, obviously, it's another type of yes, it's another type of voice, but in her range, in her style, she has a great voice. She had as well a great starting since the very beginning, in the very beginning of the performance. You can have her attention in the first time because she's soft. When the people knows that Siboney is coming and she started softly, you say, "Oh, wow, he's coming a poem," you know, make it on music. So I think this is great, things that never happened in other videos that we saw before. She has also a great ups and downs in her voice. She's managing her instrument masters as a master. She has a great accents in the notes that has to be done in there. There's the accent, you know. I think maybe like a negative, in a way, like a negative point of view. Maybe in a way she abused a little thing of the vibrato. I think most of the time she's vibrating or making vibrato in almost the time of the song. I wouldn't, if I were her, but at the end, it's not something that makes in black the her performance. You know, it's, I mean, it's not a big deal. And at the end, due to this kind of voice and due to the tone of the song, which is lower than the other ones, she was able to close the performance in high note. So it was fine, but I don't so convinced that it was the best, or it was, yes, it was the best that she could do in that moment. I really don't know. Maybe I have to see this video once and over again, because as a first side, I'm putting my mind as a first side in as people that is in the public, let's say, in the audience, and as a first moment, I don't know if it was convinced to me that it was the best. But at the end, she did it great. My point of view. The piano guy, the pianist, also is a great pianist. My point of view as well. He did a great arrangements in the piano. He knows the song, even though he was reading it, but he feels the companion, the time, everything was great. That's my point of view.
Okay, so as for me, yeah, also I'm going to start with the pianist. I can see he's a highly trained
Mm-hmm.
professional
Professional.
musician. You can see it.
Mm-hmm.
I also like the moments it's only the piano. They are great moments. How he increases the volume of the music without excess. But there is a good balance. There is a good
Mm-hmm.
sensation when she's not singing like this sort of continuity in the song. I really like that. I also can see that there was lots of communication between the two of them.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
A good point. Yes. Mm-hmm.
well, Rafa, you have been on the stage several times. You know that the sometimes people on the public in the audience may not perceive it, but when you're on a
Mm-hmm.
stage, there are even just a glance, a look,
Mm-hmm.
the way you do
Mm-hmm.
something that it's the cue for somebody like this is what you have to do. There are no voices. I mean, you don't give vocal instructions or anything. You give quiet signals. You see a glance of a look, the way you're
Mm-hmm.
standing,
Mm-hmm.
the
Mm-hmm.
way the pianist or another instrumentist is doing something, and you know that it's going according to the plans, or if you're going to change the plans slightly. So I can see that in the two of them, that they really, I think they rehearse this song a good number of times because there is clarity on what each one
Mm-hmm.
of
Mm-hmm.
them is doing. As for hers, I would go back to a couple of examples that we have had in other episodes. This is another example of that you don't need to be a tremendous, super
Exactly.
powerful, ultimate
Voice.
voice, but you have to
Yes.
do, but you can do extraordinary things with the
Yes.
instrument you have. She's another example of, I can see a very intelligent singer here because the
Mm-hmm.
low notes are always difficult. You saw the tenors and also the other soprano trying to manage and the countertenor working on the low notes because composers sometimes they are cruel with the singers and they take you from this level of notes and they take you
Mm-hmm.
sometimes low. And that's when you have to say, oh my God, how am I going to project the
Mm-hmm.
voice here? It's going to put me in trouble. Um, Kathy and I have have a joke there. We called it the toad or the cow voice. In Spanish, voz de sapo or voz de vaca. We say,
Uh-huh.
oh, like that.
Uh-huh.
Care cristal.
Okay.
Because the singer is coming from a certain position in the voice. Da, 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 da. The sound like goes deep in the throat and loses all
Mm-hmm.
the color and
Mm-hmm.
sounds horrible. But in
Mm-hmm.
this case, the soprano is very intelligent and knows how to do that because she doesn't lose power or projection in the
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
notes. She understood how she need to work on that part to continue with the flow of her singing. So for things like that and the emphasis, as you mentioned, she has to nail certain words or certain syllables, and she does it correctly. That's when I see a very smart singer that knows how to do what to do and how to
Mm-hmm.
do it. And also for other episodes that we have mentioned when we have seen voices that are not incredibly powerful but that work well in a small place with a pianist and that you feel like I would like to hear this kind of music, with the piano, with a nice soft voice, moving like a nice environment. where you could feel nice actually listening to it. And I also agree. This is the only one that is more rounded in the interpretation, rounded in the music, rounded in transmitting or passing the emotion of the very, very beautiful Siboney. But Rafa, it's time to vote.
Okay.
So, in your episode as a villain, how do you feel about our first tenor, Gabriel Gutiel? Thumbs down.
Down.
Okay.
Yes.
Since I am the good guy today, it's going to be a thumbs up for
Oh
me.
my goodness.
Remember what I said. He didn't yell a lot. I know the limitations of his voice, but he didn't yell a lot, and that.
But it was
I
so
appreciate.
flat. My point of view that's because he's a great tenor. Yes, I know, but not for this. Not for this. And he was so flat, but it's fine. I respect your goodness.
There is room for improvement, but I am not the bad guy today. So.
Okay.
Okay. Second one. Well, you still have to vote, Rafa. Not only one, but 2 thumbs down.
3.
3 thumbs down. Yeah.
3 thumbs down.
No. Okay, let's go for the other one. I don't want to even. Well, me, of course, didn't work at all. This one's interesting. The duet between Lourdes and Carlos.
I think that just because of her, I will say the más menos. Middle.
Yeah, me too. I would say not clearly a thumbs up, more leaning to a flat one, and it is because of hers. Absolutely because of hers. Yeah. And well, we still have to vote for Indira Ferrer.
Indira, she's great. Yes, I think she's great. Thumbs up.
Clearly a thumbs up. Thanks her for this beautiful, very beautiful. Probably I know dozens of renditions of Siboney. One of the most horrible is Plácido Domingos. Is the example of a yelled version of Siboney.
I can imagine. Yeah.
Yeah, horrible. And Indira brings me hope for humanity. So, with that being said, well, Rafa, thank you very much for your time.
Thank you, guys. Thank you, Rich.
And we will be seeing everybody in a month. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
Bye.
You can follow our channel for the latest updates and more content. Opera We Love Singing, in just one word. Link in the description of the episode.